Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Abundant and Aligned podcast. I'm so excited to be sitting down for another episode with you all. I hope you have been loving having me back in your ears for a brand new year. So last week, our first episode back for 2026, I shared some things that I'm focusing on to double my revenue in 2026. And it was a list of, from memory, 10 different things in many different categories that I am focusing on and really honing in on during this year to continue to grow this brand and really move it to a 7-figure business, continue to work with these premium high caliber clients, and really build and continue to build this movement that women really want to be a part of. This week, I wanted to sit down and actually share some common mistakes you may be making that is actually capping your income or causing high caliber premium clients to go elsewhere, or just keeping you in this cycle where you still don't have everything that you desire, whether that is income, whether that is living in a certain home, driving a certain car, having the ability to shop in certain stores, go on certain trips, experience life in a certain way. So I really want to talk today about things that I would recommend you stop doing in 2026 if you do want to create illogical momentum this year and really experience these high income months that I know are on your goal list and really become the go-to brand for these high caliber clients who pay without hesitation, who are looking for quality and continue to create this big life that I know you are here to have and experience. Now, this is in no particular order, the things that I'll be sharing, but as I was writing this list, these are things that I wish I did sooner and something that I am really being mindful of as we do build this brand to 7 figures. So the first one, and this is one of the first things I get all of my clients to do when they join my masterminds, my programs, go and unfollow every single account that is in your industry. Unfollow them, mute them, get them out of your orbit. The reason we really want to quieten down the noise and remove anybody else from your feed who is doing what you are doing or something similar is so that we can open up your creative portal. If you are coming into this year knowing that you want to create insane results, but you're feeling a little blocked as to how you can do it differently this year, this suggestion is going to be a game changer for you. As I've mentioned, when we are so bombarded with what other people are doing, we are quite literally unable to access the way that we are supposed to do this. Now, I am here to help you create a standout brand. I don't want your brand or your business or your services or your products to look like anybody else in your industry. I want people to come across your social media. I want people to come across your website. I want people to come across your work and notice the difference. I want you to stand out like a sore thumb. But we cannot create or get your brand to this point if it looks like everybody else's. And it is going to look like everybody else's, whether this is a conscious effort or not, if you are constantly seeing what others are doing. Now, it is easy to be swayed by what others are doing when it is popping up in our orbit every single day. And this is why this suggestion to go ahead and block, mute, unfollow, well, not block, unfollow and mute other accounts is going to ensure that you're just not swayed whatsoever, because it's not going to be showing up on your account. As I mentioned before as well, there is a way that you are supposed to be running your business. There is a way that you are supposed to be delivering your services. There are services that you are supposed to be announcing and sharing with the world that only you can do in the way that you can do it. And again, we really need to create some space for those downloads and that higher intelligence to drop in so that you can start doing it your way. Now, because I know you so well, I know you are so good at your craft, I know the work that you're doing is your soul's work. I know you have so many ideas underneath the surface in terms of how you want to show up online, in terms of the services that you want to provide, in terms of how you want to price it, in terms of how you want to run your brand. I know they are sitting under the surface, and doing this task is going to enable them to come up so that you can actually take action on it. It's also going to remove the hesitation if you have this incredible idea in your business and then you look around to see if anybody else is doing it. Often when we look around and nobody else is doing it, we don't do it because we assume that it won't work because there's no evidence of it working. But that's the golden ticket. If you can get ahead of the crowd, if you can start leading in your industry by doing things that nobody else is doing, again, this is when you're going to have that standout brand that premium clients will flood to. Some recommendations that I can make to help with this is go ahead and just start removing, muting accounts that are in your industry. And even if they aren't in your industry, but if you see their work and you get in that comparison trap, we need to remove them from your orbit so that we can create space for your own downloads, your own intuitive guidance, your own higher intelligence to drop in. Then you can go ahead and create some moments where you can open this portal even more. For me, the shower is a place where I get all of my ideas, all of my downloads. I have been known to write speeches for events in the shower. I just get so many ideas in the shower. And that makes sense because we are free from distractions in the shower. We can't pick up our phone and start scrolling. We don't have someone coming up and starting a conversation with us. There is nobody else in the shower, usually in the shower with us. So it does really create this opportunity to open up that portal and listen to those downloads, receive those downloads. You may also get these downloads when you are driving in the car or when you go on a walk. But what I really want you to do in 2026 is create more of these moments. So have a think about what those moments are, where you are, what you're doing when you do get those aha light bulb moments, when you do get these downloads come through, and find times in your day where you can create more of that. And then get really excited about the unique ideas and downloads that are going to drop in, and then get into my world so that I can help you execute them. Because I will admit, it is often scary, uncomfortable to do things that nobody else is doing in your industry. Again, we are so programmed to look for the evidence of something working. But when we are leading and when we are doing things nobody else is doing, there won't be any evidence, or especially if you're not looking for it. But that's why if you get into my world, I can help you execute on these things so that when you are offering services in the way that is in alignment with these downloads, or when you are pricing things in a way, or when you are doing things in your business in a way that nobody else is doing, you're not coming in with doubt. Because of course, if you do anything in your business with doubt, it will create an undesired outcome. So I can help you believe in these unique ideas. I can help you execute these unique ideas in a way where they will really land in the way we want them to land, so that you can continue to increase your income and become the go-to brand for these premium high caliber clients. So that's the first mistake you may be making, looking to see what others are doing and allowing that to guide your decision making in your business. And instead, what you're going to do is become the leader in your industry, become the leader within your brand and within your business, and start running your business based on those ideas, those intuitive guidance, those downloads, because that's coming from your higher intelligence and that's how you're supposed to do it. Also be mindful, I just saw my note, you have lived many lives before this one, depending on what cycle will tell us how many lives you live. If I'm personally in my last incarnation. I've lived many lives. Therefore, I come to this lifetime with wisdom that transcends this lifetime. I come to this lifetime with wisdom and value that I cannot find on social media, because it has not come from this lifetime. And again, if we are so consumed with accessing information that's only available now and not listening to downloads that just come in our minds and in our heads, then we are ignoring all of that wisdom that we have from past lives. So just remember that as well. Not all the information you have to share with this world has been collected in this lifetime, but rather it may come from other lifetimes, and you will not be able to access that intelligence unless you are creating space for the downloads to drop in. The next mistake you may be making that has been capping your income is constantly looking to see if the results are there. Now, very quickly, a lesson when it comes to manifestation and manipulating your reality. When you look to see if something is there, it means a part of you has assumed it's not. Therefore, vibrationally, you are in the frequency of lack. And when your frequency is in lack, you are only a match for more lack. The law of attraction, like attracts like. So again, if you are looking to see if the result is there, a part of you has assumed it's not. Therefore, your frequency is dialed into lack, and you will simply create an outcome that is attuned to lack. Now, I'm not saying be completely blind to all of the incredible milestones and the successes that you are or will create in your business this year if you stick with me. But what I'm saying is I really want you to pull back from constantly checking to see if the result is there. And instead, I want you to trust with your entire body that it is there. And when you believe that an outcome will be there, fully believe an outcome will be there, it will be there because you collapse the energetic wave of possibility into that outcome. Now, some moments where you may be checking, some examples where you are checking because a part of you has doubted it, maybe when you put up a reel on Instagram and you put it out with the intention for it to perform really well online. You then check to see how many views that reel has got, and when you don't see a particular number that you may have wanted to see, you now believe that nobody cares about that piece of content, and then you will create the outcome where nobody cares about that piece of content, which means that's going to influence your sales, it's going to influence how much money you're making, it's going to influence the results that you are creating within your business. Another example whereby you are checking to see if the results are there is seeing or checking your inbox, your emails during a launch to see if you had another enrollment or to see if you've made another sale. Again, if you are checking to see if the enrollment is there and then you don't happen to see it, you now assume that nobody wants to buy from you, nobody wants to enroll in this mastermind, the industry is dead, you begin to spiral, and because you've now spiraled into doubt and assuming that nobody wants to enroll in your program or wants to buy from you, you are going to create that outcome and you won't get what you want. Another example whereby you may be just checking on things is when it comes to your bank account. So I'm not saying never look at your numbers. Last week's episode, we spoke about doing money dates and really being consistent with money dates in 2026. But what I am saying is avoid checking your accounts constantly if when checking your accounts you are in lack. Because again, your vibration is going to determine the outcome on the other side of your action. Your body, your emotions, your thoughts is what's creating a physical, not the other way around. So really coming into 2026, trusting that you are going to create the outcomes you said you were going to create and attune into the expectation of it already being there. And really being mindful, would I be checking, would I be performing this action if I fully trusted the outcome I desired had already manifested? And it's very likely you wouldn't. Because again, if you fully trusted that you are going to hit your launch goal, you wouldn't be constantly checking if you're going to hit your launch goal. You would be off celebrating, popping the champagne, planning the celebration dinner because you wholeheartedly believe it's going to be there. At the end of your launch period, the numbers that you need to see, the enrollment emails that need to be in your inbox will be there, and you trust the timing of it, you trust that it is inevitable, and therefore it is. The next thing that I really want you to avoid doing and stop doing in 2026 to really create these insane results is allowing yesterday to determine your today. Now, again, in the realm of manifestation, and when it comes to being a master manipulator of your reality, because you are, everything is energy and you get the ability to influence your outcomes, it is so important that we are not allowing our yesterday to influence our today, because energetically, there is no correlation. Energy does not care what happened yesterday. Energy does not care how last launch went. Energy does not care whether that person said no to your service yesterday. Energy does not care what happened yesterday. Any energy will simply be manipulated based on your focus and your frequency. So really getting good when you wake up in the morning, starting fresh. because every day truly is a clean slate. Every single day, you get the opportunity to create something new, no matter what happened yesterday, last month, last year. And the more you can wake up every day being the creator of today, the more today will look so different to yesterday. And when we start our day with this clean slate energy, we are really open to possibility. And I want to give you an example. Just recently, this happened in my business. We are obviously in the middle of enrolling for Her Empire, my high-level mastermind for women in business. We start next week, and therefore I've got women applying and joining my world in this space. I come back from holidays and I had no warm leads or hot leads or any leads whatsoever in my inbox. No one over the Christmas break had expressed interest in the mastermind. According to the external, the launch was dead. There was nobody hot. There was nobody showing interest. There was absolutely nobody there. Now, if I had have allowed that to influence what I was then going to create for the rest of this launch, we would have seen no more applications, definitely no more qualified enrollments, and the launch would have been dead because I allowed that one tiny circumstance to influence what was going to happen next. But I didn't do that. And every day I choose to wake up and create something new, no matter what happened yesterday. And every day I decide the kind of clients that drop into my world, the kind of money I'm making in my life, and what happens in my reality, because I am the creator of it all. And I wake up with that energy. And that week I had an application come through from a very qualified person to be in this mastermind, and then she ended up paying in full, which is a $12,000 investment. She came out of nowhere. She dropped in like magic, but of course it was not magic. It's not a coincidence. I created that outcome by expecting that outcome to happen. So again, stop being so bogged down by the past failures, the past no's, the yesterday. I really don't care what happened 1 minute ago. I care what you're creating right now, what you're choosing to focus on, what you're choosing to expect, what assumptions you're making of your clients, of your results, of what's happening in your industry. That's what I care about. That's what energy cares about, and that's what's going to create your outcome. So the more open you are to possibility and allowing magic to happen, miracles to occur, the more it actually will. And getting a painful client that drops into your world and pays you $12,000 in one transaction will become your reality as well. Actually, another example, that same week, I am obviously running an event next week on the Gold Coast, an event for women in business. It has the intention to really create a moment and mark the beginning of your year. Of course, this is your invitation if you are on the Gold Coast, or you can get to the Gold Coast. It's on the 4th of February at the most luxurious venue on the Gold Coast. Champagne will be flowing. We have canapes. There'll be jazz music playing. Everybody will be in floor-length gowns, and you get the opportunity to celebrate with other women in business. And so we're obviously selling tickets for that event at the moment. And I had one woman drop into my DMs and say that she has actively invited to that event 7 other women. Now, if I was solely focused on the conversations I was having in my DMs, the tickets that had come through the day prior, I would not have been open to the possibility of someone who I didn't even know was going to come to my event go and tell 7 of her other friends who are now going to come to my event. Again, when we're so closed off to possibility, things like that can't happen. But because I choose to be open to possibility, I choose to be available for results to find me, for clients to find me, for money to find me without my physical effort alone, these things are happening in my world. So be open to possibility, be open to thing money, clients, things finding you, and it will find you. And don't try and predict everything. Don't be so in control of how things are going to happen. Okay, the next thing I want you to avoid doing in 2026 is avoid listening to any advice that contradicts the outcomes that you want to create and how you choose to go about that. Now, to flesh this out, I want to give you an example. Black Friday was obviously in November last year, and it is a massive time in the service-based, product-based industries. It's a massive time for sales. It's a massive time to make money. It's a big time in businesses who choose to participate in Black Friday. Now, after Black Friday, I heard somebody say that Black Friday in 2025 was a really slow Black Friday, and everybody's sales were down and everybody experienced a lull in revenue compared to their Black Friday in 2024. Now that really triggered me because it's not actually true, set in stone, that absolutely everybody who participated in Black Friday in 2025 experienced a drop in their revenue compared to previous years, who found it slow, who saw this pattern whereby it just wasn't as good as usual years. It's not actually true. However, if you were somebody who heard that advice and didn't understand everything we talk about on this podcast, whereby whatever you believe will be true for you, and therefore if you believe in something different, it will be true for you. If you didn't know that and you heard that advice, it would now create a belief within you, subconsciously, energetically, that Black Friday is no longer a thing. And it's slowing down, and every year it's getting less popular, and it's creating less successful results. And you would, whether you're consciously aware of it or not, carry this belief into launches, specifically Black Friday launches. And because you have this belief that it's not as successful as it's always been, of course you're going to create results that mirror that. And so it really triggered me that people do go around and spread these opinions that then people latch onto, which then forms a belief that creates limiting results within their business. And on the topic of Black Friday every year can be whatever you want it to be, no matter what Joe Blow next to you is experiencing. If you come into any launch believing in your potential, expecting the results that you want to create, and wholeheartedly showing up and expecting them and believing in them, that's what you're going to create. So only listen to advice and consume information that is going to create the outcomes you want to create in your business. And this podcast really should be one of few podcasts in your ears this year, because these are the conversations we have. And I don't sit and have these conversations to blow smoke up your ass and to give you false hope. I tell you this information because it's scientifically factual information that you are the creator of the outcomes in your business. And it does not matter what other people in your industry are experiencing. It does not matter what month of the year it is. It does not matter whether it's snowing or raining or sunny outside. You get to create whatever results you want in your business and in your life if your subconscious mind is programmed to create it. If you therefore believe it's going to be possible and you expect it, you stay tuned into the outcome of it actually occurring. But of course, you can't watch the same TV show if you keep changing the channel. You're not going to get the things you want in your business if you keep changing your mind about what's possible for you. And if one day you're expecting the outcome, then the next you're not, and one day you're focusing and trusting, and then the next day you're focusing on the lack and you complain, obviously you're not going to get the outcomes you want. But if you fully show up every single day choosing to create, expecting the things that you want to come into your life, then that's what you're going to create, no matter what Sally and Bob down the road are experiencing in their business. So don't listen to advice that contradicts you having your best year in business in 2026. And to make it even better, surround yourself with people who carry the belief that we carry on this show. Get yourself into masterminds where conversations like this are normalized, where standards of high income months, being the go-to brand, being the best in your industry are normalized. Normalized, expected. You're expected to meet these standards. You're held to these standards. Get yourself into these spaces where this becomes your normal. And that's when people are going to start looking at you and wondering how you are doing it, because they're experiencing income dips. Their sales have gone down. People aren't buying. But meanwhile, you're off making so much money, working with the most incredible clients, and having the time of your life while you're doing it. The next thing I want you to avoid doing, and a mistake you may be making, is repeating your 2025 patterns. So of course, if you want to create something different in 2026, you cannot be the person you were in 2025. And just let that land for a second. If you want to create something different in 2026, you cannot be the person you were in 2025. Something needs to shift internally within your identity for your reality to respond differently. It's that simple. It's that simple, which is why the work we do in my world is upgrading you as the woman behind the brand, as the creator to it all. When you are showing up within a different identity, what you're actually doing could look exactly the same when it comes to how often you're posting, how many emails you're sending, what you're launching, the amount of things you're launching, all of that could stay the same. But if you're different, neurologically, energetically, if you're showing up as someone different, if you become someone different, the results will be different. So you cannot be the same person you were last year if you want to create change. So I thought I would just identify some patterns that I'd love for you to be cautious of as you move through into 2026 and do some work to release these patterns and to avoid these patterns. The first thing I want you to do is to stop normalizing drastic, inconsistent income months. I'm not saying that every month is going to be bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and every year is going to be bigger and bigger and bigger, although they are results that we do see. I'm not saying that an income dip of any kind is bad and something's wrong, but what I don't want you to do is normalize having the most insane month in your business and then the next month having the worst month of your life, and then having another insane month in your business and then the worst month of your life. What we are actually seeing here is subconscious self-sabotage. Your subconscious is afraid, viewing money as a threat, which is why you may experience this spike because you've done something right somewhere along the line. But then the moment the money comes into your account, or the moment you then have to hold on to this money, your subconscious freaks out and it starts to view this money as a threat and subconsciously will begin to get rid of it. And that's why you then have this drastic income dip. So I'm talking about these huge spikes followed by these huge drops, and these huge spikes followed by these huge drops. Like, let's not normalize that this year, because it puts you in so much stress and means you're running your business from survival, which is never the powerful place to be. And it just means that business isn't as fun and as business isn't how we want it to be. Like, we want you to be in momentum. We want you to experience these income months that keep getting bigger. We want money to feel safe and here to stay. So let's not continue to normalize these huge income fluctuations, and let's really look at the root cause of this. And again, this is why the work I'm doing with all of my clients is the most profound, powerful work you will ever do in your business, because you are the creator of it all. And if we can get your subconscious reprogrammed to feel good and safe around money, guess what? Money is going to love being around you, and that's when you're going to see it continue to increase month on month and year on year. Next pattern I don't want you to continue to normalize in 2026 is being in these lengthy, time-consuming conversations with prospective clients that go nowhere. Maybe you've been in the DMs for days or weeks about them enrolling in your program or buying your product or coming to your event, and it looks like it's going really well and they're asking all of the questions, and then you share your price, or then you tell them more details, and then they ghost you. Or then they say, actually, this is not the right time, or actually, I can't afford that. I'm going to stop normalizing this, because it doesn't need to be a reality that you have to keep tolerating and you have to keep putting up with. There are, as we speak, clients and buyers out there who would love to spend their money with you, who have identified it is the perfect time to join your program, to pay for your services, to start the project, to move forward with you. They have already decided now's the time. They've already got the money. They're actively looking for someone exactly as you are right now, especially given how good you are at your work. So let's not keep tolerating these conversations with buyers and clients who just aren't it. They're not at the standard that we want our premium clients to be at. And while we are being available for that and staying attuned to that kind of frequency, we're missing out on the clients who will want to run with you and who are ready right now. They are ready. You don't need to overcome objections. They don't need convincing. They are hot. They are ready. They're just waiting for you to to be available for them, to tune into their frequency. And so if you are experiencing these lengthy conversations that end up dying off in the end, again, there's a subconscious reason for this. You may have a fear of being fully seen. You may have a fear of showing up for clients at that capacity. You may have a fear of the money attached to you making that sale. There is some kind of fear or reason why these conversations aren't turning into sales. And it's not because you just need to keep going and ask more people and have more conversations. If this is a genuine pattern for you, there is a root cause to it that we can actually fix, so that clients don't even ask you a question in the DM. They're just buying from you. So that if they do ask you a question, it's when do we start? Or send me your quote because I just want to get started on this project. It's not these conversations that are draining and convincing and going nowhere. It's when can I start? How much is it? Because that sounds amazing. Like, let's actually go. And this is a shift in you that will shift the outcome. The final pattern I want you to ditch in 2026 is keeping your prices low when you know full well you should be charging more. Again, I know you are so good at what you do. You are so good at your craft. You have been doing this for some time now, and you deserve to be on the main stage because of how good you are at what you do. And you know you should be charging more. But the reason you're not charging more is because of a fear that if you put your prices up, people won't buy. Because of a fear that if you put your prices up, you will lose clients. But of course, that is not true if you don't believe in it. So 2026 is the year that you jump into my world and we take a look at your services. We identify how goddamn good you are at what you do, and we allow your prices to not only reflect how good you are at what you do, but allow your prices to then become a signpost for the standard and the quality of your work, so that people who are looking for that are drawn to you. Because remember, we talk about this all the time, price is a way to attract clients. Some will say a higher price will push clients away. I say a higher price will pull the right clients in. It's called a perceived value effect. And if you think about it, when you are browsing a store, you always assume the higher priced product is better quality than the lower priced product. And this is usually something that we do find, not always, but usually is the case. So we aren't crazy for assuming that the higher priced products are of better quality. It doesn't stop when we are browsing in the shops. It applies to your industry, it applies to your work as well. And if you are keeping your prices too low, you are potentially missing out on these premium clients who are looking at your price and assuming that your work isn't as good as what it is because it's priced so low. So there is a sweet spot, and again, I will help you with this in my world, is really pricing things so that it does showcase your work. It showcases your quality. It showcases the luxurious experience that your people get when they come into your world. Okay, I have two more. The next thing that I want you to stop doing in 2026, and a mistake that I want you to avoid, is overlooking the evidence that you are actually such a powerful creator. Again, whatever you are creating in your business, whether it's good or bad, you are creating it based on your subconscious program, based on your energetic vibration, based on what you're focusing on, what you're assuming to happen, what you are expecting. And therefore, there are things that are happening in your life that's showing you that you are on the right track. And so what I want you to really do this year is stop overlooking the evidence that you're on the right track. Stop overlooking the evidence that you are creating what you want. Stop overlooking the evidence that you have shifted onto a different frequency and therefore different results are finding you. So you may even want to keep a visual diary. It may be an iPhone note or an actual book that you can start tracking. When I did this, this happened. When I shifted my thoughts, this happened. When I did that energy recalibration that morning, this happened. And start to really connect the dots. Now you have your most powerful strategy you will ever have in your business, and that is you. When you can see how you just created something, it means you can do it again and again and again. And this is when you do truly become the most powerful person on this planet, because now you're creating what you want despite the time of year, despite what's happening in the industry, despite what's happening in the economy, despite anything else that's happening outside of what you're creating. And this is such a powerful place to be in business. And this is the place I want you to be in business, because it means any strategy is going to work. Any piece of content will work. Anything you do in your business will work, because you're going to believe it's going to work and you're going to expect the outcome to be created, and therefore it will, because you create energy. Energy moves energy. So I want you to keep a diary of the cool things you're doing, the successes, the milestones, and then identify what did you do just prior. And again, it may have been an energetic recalibration that attuned your focus to clients and not the lack. It may have been that sleep meditation that you've been really consistent with. It may have been starting to dress differently. It may have been having a ritual whereby just prior to you opening up your Instagram DMs, you create the message that you would like to see in your inbox, and therefore you do. And again, just start connecting the dots and seeing that you're doing all of this. You're creating all of this. And I mean, you could do it for the lack and the results that aren't the desired outcomes, but I don't really want you to focus on those things. I want you, if they do happen to occur, I mean, the client objection, the client that ghosts you, the refund request, the tech issues during your masterclass, the thing that happened on the project, the job site, whatever. If things do go wrong, I want you to kind of just act like it didn't, and don't get caught up in it. Don't focus on it. Don't spiral because of it, because the more attention you give it, the more of that you're going to create. So just be passive towards it. Just act like it's not happening. And again, stay focused on what is happening. Stay focused on the good that is happening. Keep expecting more good things to happen, and then it will. And then finally, I want you to avoid trying to do everything in 2026. I want you to avoid trying to control everything in 2026 and stretching yourself to the point of snapping. In Her Empire, one of the first challenges I set is called a soft challenge. S stands for surrender control. O stands for open the portal. F stands for feel into receiving. And T stands for tend to your feminine. And the whole point of this soft challenge is to shift my client's energetic vibration from doing to receiving. Vibrationally, we want to make you like a magnet that's over lead. You know, in science class at school, when you hovered the magnet over the lead, it would automatically just be drawn to the magnet. I do that with my clients, and this soft challenge is a way that we do that. So it's starting to practice things like receiving a compliment, receiving help from your partner, receiving anything in your life, whether it's related to your business or not, but each time you do, you're shifting into receiving mode, which means now you are the magnet and other things can start to be drawn to you because you're also in receiving mode for that. Clients, money, opportunities, collaborations, PR deals, events, speaking jobs, projects, whatever you want to receive. Energetically, you're in receiving mode because you're also receiving in other ways. So again, those who do join me in Her Empire, this is one of the first things we do is, are you in receiving mode? And we find so many different ways where you can shift into receiving mode in your life. And the lists go on and on and on and on. And every single client who does this challenge are gobsmacked at how much they have been in doing mode and forcing mode, which means energetically they're unable to receive money and clients because they're just not on that frequency. So go ahead and practice this soft challenge in your own way, or if you're jumping into my world, I'm going to help you do this, but avoid trying to do everything all the time and force things and push things and make things happen, and instead receive, be open, be soft, be a sponge to all of the things that you want to create in 2026. So there's a nice big list of all of the things that I recommend you avoid doing in 2026 to skyrocket everything this year. And of course, if there is anything else you identify, I encourage you to create a list beyond this and stick to it. And yeah, just be really pumped for the incredible things that will start to happen in your business, the momentum that you are going to be on this year and in this year because of these things that we are leaving behind in 2025. Now, just quickly before I let you guys go, A reminder that we start in her empire next week. We officially kick off 6 months in my higher level business mastermind. This is for the women in business who are ready. They are ready to have the go-to brand for high-paying premium clients. They are ready to make so much money, multiple 5 figures, 6 figures. They are ready to be a magnet to the PR opportunities, the brand collaborations, the speaking jobs, the money, the clients. They are ready to be a sponge to all of their desires, and they are ready to just experience a life that brings them so much joy, where they have overflow, they have choices, they're traveling, they're experiencing luxury. Life is just a serious dream come true. And we do all of that through very customized, personalized, bespoke coaching. This isn't a program that you work through at your own pace. It's not a program where you just become a number to the mentor that's running the space. It is a small group. It is an intimate group so that I can provide this high level mentorship to you. You will get the method to increase your monthly income without running ads or posting more online. You will learn the approach that will attract premium, high paying clients, those who pay without hesitation, those who are already looking for your services. They do not need convincing. You will master the unspoken codes to alter your reality without relying on time or physical effort alone. And you will also get to access a small and intimate group of other female entrepreneurs who will walk this journey with you, who will expand you, inspire you, celebrate with you, who will add value to this journey that you are on as you move to your multi-6-figure, 7-figure years. So we start next week. And it is by application only. Those who are invited in are leaders. They are doing incredible things in their business. They have a clear vision for where they want to go. They're going to add to the standard, the energy of this space. And you will form this small group, this intimate group of women that I will be working very closely with over the next 6 months. So I've left the application for her empire below. The next and final piece of housekeeping is the event that I spoke about at the start of this episode. So it is on the Gold Coast on the 4th of February at a very luxury hotel on the Gold Coast. As I've mentioned, we'll have champagne, canapes, jazz music. I'm encouraging everybody to wear floor-length gowns because this is your moment to mark the beginning of what is going to be your most successful year in business. And coming into 2026, I didn't want to just run another free masterclass. Well, I do have one coming your way, but I didn't want to just create another masterclass. I wanted to create a moment for you, something that you could experience in real life, something that would shift you internally because of the touches that I'm making, because of the venue, because of the views, because of the women who are going to be in this space, the conversations you're going to be having. I really wanted to create a moment for you as you enter this year. So that's why we're doing this event, and I'm so excited for you to attend. I believe at the time of recording this episode, we are at 50% capacity. So if you would love to join me next week on the Gold Coast, go and grab your ticket below. And I'm really excited to see you in person, give you a big squeeze, have a champagne with you, and just get really excited for the year that you are about to endure. So pumped. Okay, that's where we're going to leave it. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode on the Abundant and Aligned podcast. If you are watching us on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and like this so that you are kept up to date with weekly drops. And yeah, I'm so excited to be back. I appreciate you all, and I'll speak to you in the next episode.